Good morning, children. 10th standard, I am going to take history lesson. That is 4th lesson. Children, already I took 5th lesson, 6th lesson, all we pass on. But this 4th lesson, we are going to continue this. Understand? Here, that is, the lesson is the world after World War II. After the Second World War, that is from 1939 to 1945. After the Second World War, the world countries, what it happened among the world countries, we'll see it today. Okay. Here in this lesson, we are going to see about the Communist Revolution in China, Cold War and the non-alignment, Korean War and Cuban Missile Crisis, then Arab-Israeli Wars and Vietnam War, European Economic Community and EU, that is European Union, and the fall of Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War era. So all these, what we can say, side headings we are going to see in this chapter, in this lesson. One by one we'll see. Okay, first of all, after the Second World War, all the Asian and the African countries which were occupied by the European powers were become independent. They got independence. Most of the countries in Africa and Asia. And in Asia, for an example, India, we got independence in 1947, and Pakistan, it got independence. Indonesia, they got independence from Dutch people. Understand, like that, we got many countries, they were got independence after the Second World War. This was one of the impact. Then another one, what we can see is this communism was spread after the First World War. Communism was spread in Russia. Understand? Russia became a communist nation. But after the Second World War, China became a communist nation. How communism it spread China? How they followed China, this communism? Abindratha we'll see in this chapter. Then where end abdin paathom sonna, after the Second World War, the two great blocks, they were USA and USSR. So these two great countries, they become opposite direction. Like to USA, they followed democratism, and this USSR, that is Soviet Russia, they followed communism. So they became the two power blocks. And some countries, they joined with the USA, America, and some many more countries, they joined with this Soviet Russia. But India, we followed non-alignment. We didn't join any other countries, either USA nor this Soviet Union. Okay, children. We'll see it now then. And a Cold War was happened between these two blocks, power blocks, this USA and USSR. So there was a Cuban crisis in Cuba. Both the countries, they wanted to occupy Cuba. They used Cuba as a missile center. Understand, military center. Adalla enna aachi abindrathu we'll see it. Then this USA, they followed many organizations, that is Marshall Plan, then NATO, then CETO, CENTO or Warsaw Pact by Russia, Soviet Russia. Understand, they followed that policy. Okay, that we'll see in this chapter. And we'll see about non-alignment also. I told you that India followed non-alignment. It didn't join with any other power blocks. Okay. And this Europe also, the European countries, they started the EU, that is European Union. All the European nations, they joined together and they formed one organization that was called as European Union. அப்பதான் ஒரு single ஒரு country ஒரு currency வச்சிருந்தாங்க. இப்ப Germany mark, they use mark. Understand? Like that, any other country, they had separate currencies. But after the forming of European Union, they followed euro. That is, euro is a coin. Till now, they are following all the European countries. Can you able to follow then? Now, we'll start. From China, we'll start. Chinese Revolution. First one. Chinese Revolution. China in the pre-war period. Here, in this, there are many side headings. China pre-war. War வரதுக்கு முன்னாடி எப்படி இருந்தது? China pre-war period. Okay. Here, this China actually before the Second World War, that is after the First World War, China was a great civilized country rather than this European powers. So, this Chinese people, they won't accept, they didn't follow the culture of the European, the westernized culture. They didn't accept it. ஓகே, அவங்களுக்குன்னு தனி அட்வான்ஸ்ட் சைனீஸ் பீப்புள் என்ன, இப்போ கூட அவங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பெருமை சைனீஸ்க்கு. நாங்கள் தான் வேர்ல்டுலேயே வந்து சிவிலைஸ்டு பீப்புள், வி ஓன்ட் ஃபாலோ எனி கல்ச்சர் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி தான் இருப்பாங்க. அண்ட் ஆல்சோ அவங்க சொல்கிறது கரெக்டு தான், பிகாஸ் மெனி ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ், மெனி மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் ஐட்டம்ஸ், குட்ஸ் தேவர் மேட் அப். நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம், நிறைய குட்ஸ் எல்லாமே மேட் இன் சைனா அப்படி தான் போட்டிருப்பாங்க இல்லை, அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஸோ அதனால தேவர் ஹார்ட் ஒர்க்கிங் பீப்புள் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ in population also they were the first, understand. So they were the civilized people அப்படின்ற மாதிரி எண்ணம் அவங்களுக்குள்ள இருந்தது. Can you able to follow, children? Okay. And the people, the rulers, those who ruled China were called as Manchus. Manchus, they ruled China. The Manchu Rulers, understand, they were called as, the rulers were called as Manchus, understand. Okay. And this, what we can say, the entire administration system were in the hands of Mandarins. Mandarins na yaruna, the landowners, the land gentry. And the most of the high class people, they enjoyed all the privileges. So the peasantry, the low class people, they suffered a lot during this time, understand. So they have to pay much wages, revenue, understand, that is the tax. And there was no land for them. Okay, அந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஷார்ட்டேஜ் ஆஃப் லேண்ட் எல்லாம் இருந்துச்சு. ஆல் த லேண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ் வேர் ஓன்டு பை ஒன்லி த லேண்ட் லார்ட்ஸ், அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், ஒன்லி த ஹை கிளாஸ் பீப்புள். So the people, they were discontent discontent on this the emperors, the Chinese, the Manchus, the Manchu Rulers. So the people were discontent and they wanted to revolt against the emperor. So they, for the youth, they joined together and they followed, they started the Taiping Rebellion. Taiping Rebellion. They started the Taiping Rebellion in 1850 to 64. Understand, all the youths, all the people of China, they formed, unite together and they attacked, understand, they were against the Manchu rulers as well as the foreigners, understand. Okay then, and they were not accepted the Western culture. I told you, they told that they were their economy was exploited by the Western powers. So during this period, the Chinese, they hated the foreigners, and in 1898, this one emperor, Manchu emperor, his name, he was young emperor. He gave many reforms to the people, but those reforms were not liked by the people, understand. அப்போ எம்ப்ரஸ் டொவாகர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு டொவாகர் எம்ப்ரஸ் ஜூசி அப்படின்னு ஒரு எம்ப்ரஸ் இருந்தாங்க. எம்ப்ரஸ்னா நான் குயின். ஓகே, அவங்க என்ன பண்ணிட்டாங்க, ஷீ அபாலிஷ்ட் அண்ட் ஷீ இம்ப்ரிசன்ட் திஸ் யங் எம்பரர் அண்ட் ஷீ ரிஃபார்ம்டு. அவரோட ரிஃபார்ம் பண்ணார்ல, அகெயின் ஷீ அனௌன்ஸ்டு ஹெர் ஓன் ரிஃபார்ம்ஸ் டு த பீப்புள். ஏன்னா அவங்க ஆல்வேஸ் ஷீ வில் பி இன் த சப்போர்ட் ஆஃப் த Chinese people only and against the Manchu rulers, understand. And the Chinese Revolution, next one, B. Chinese Revolution in 1911. The disintegration of the Manchu dynasty began and the Dowager Empress in 1908, the new emperor, this Dowager Empress, she was killed by the Manchu Rulers. Understand? And she escaped, and there she was died. After the death of the this Empress Zusi, the next emperor was 2 years old boy only he was 2-year-old boy, சின்ன பையன். அதனால் அவன் வந்து ரூல் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ அவனுக்கு பதிலாக யாராவது ஒருத்தர் ரூல் பண்ணுவாங்க, கிங்காக இருந்து. ஸோ த மிலிட்ரி ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ், த ப்ரொவின்ஷியல் கவர்னர்ஸ் began to they said that we got independence in October 1911. ஸோ த லோக்கலில் இருந்த அந்த யார் சொல்கிறது, த ப்ரொவின்ஷியல் கவர்னர்ஸு, த மினிஸ்டர்ஸ், they themselves, they announced the independence to them because there was no ruler. And the 2 years boy, the emperor, adunala they proclaimed independence to them. At that time, there was only few the middle class people. They don't know, because the peasantry, I told you, the farmers, the low class people, the peasantry, they suffered a lot. Okay, and what we can say, the high class people also, they enjoyed like this. Only the middle class people, they were few, they don't know what to do, to whom they have to support அப்படின்னு தெரியாத இருந்தது. So this was heard by Dr. Sun Yat-sen, a great personality. He was in Sun Yat-sen. He was in USA, that is in America, United States. He heard all these matters about this China, and he come to Shanghai. Understand? He come to Shanghai, and he declared as the president of Republic of China, Chinese Republic. நான் பிரசிடெண்ட்டாக இருந்து I will see the Chinese people அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டார். ஓகே, then next one. See, யார் நெக்ஸ்ட் யார் வந்ததுன்னா Yuan Shi Kai. This unity of China under Yuan Shi Kai lasted for 4 years. The Chinese people எல்லாம் யூனைட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு Yuan Shi Kai அப்படின்ற ஒருத்தர் 4 years அதை பண்ணார். So after his death, he was died, and a new president he came. அதுக்கு நியூ பிரசிடெண்ட் வந்தார். he ruled China for 12 years அவரை ரூல் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தார். அந்த டைமில் தான் the Communist Party was spread in China, the Communist Party of China. The Communist Party of China. Here, with the revolution and breakup of old society, Confucian thought, இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது they wanted to revolt against the ruling, against the people, the rulers as well as the foreigners. Understand? And also they learnt the books of Karl Marx. Karl Marx ஓட புக் நிறைய மார்க்சிசம் பற்றிலாம் நிறைய எழுதியிருக்கிறாரு. how the people should live, அவங்க எப்படி ரெஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணணும், how they have to obey the government, and what are all the facilities, liberties they have. இதை பற்றியெல்லாம் அவரோட புக்கில் எழுதியிருக்கிறார் கார்ல் மார்க்ஸ். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ லெனின் became very popular at that time. அவரோட கம்யூனிசம், லெனின் அவர் யார்? he was the leader in Soviet Russia. ரஷ்யாவோட லீடர் தான் லெனின். ஸோ அவரும் என்ன பண்ணார்? he also learnt this Marxism, and he spread the ideas of communism. Understand? So all the students in all the universities in China, they taught communism. So adula one among the student தான் யாரு? Ma Se-tung. Say all of you. One among the student was Ma M-A-O. Mao Se, T-S-E, Se, T silent. Ma Se-tung. T-U-N-G, Tang. He was the one of the student in the University of China. Understand? Now, Kuomintang and Chiang Kai-shek will see. Now, what was the relationship between this Dr. Sun Yat-sen? I told you, this Dr. Sun Yat-sen, he started a party. It was called as Kuomintang Party. Kuomintang Party. This Kuomintang Party was founded by Dr. Sun Yat-sen. Understand? So, after the death of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, the Kuomintang Party became under the leadership of Chiang Kai-shek. Pronunciation la nalla purinjikkanum pillaingala. For that, you have to have your textbook. Chiang Kai-shek. He became the next leader of the Kuomintang Party. Understand? While the Communist Party was under Ma Se-tung, I told you that Communist Party ku yaar leader irundhathu? Ma Se-tung. Kuomintang Party yaar kondu vandhathu? Dr. Sun Yat-sen, but he was died. So avarukku appuram yaar idha form panni nadathanadhu? Chiang Kai-shek. Understand? Confuse agakudadu. Understand? And Chiang Kai-shek remove all the because in Kuomintang Party all the capitalists, all the high landlords, capitalists, அது மாதிரி பெரிய அளவில் இருந்த பீப்புள் தான் இந்த Kuomintang பார்ட்டியில், எஜுகேட்டர்ஸ், ஸ்காலர்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரி பீப்புளில் இந்த Kuomintang பார்ட்டியில் இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ அதனால இந்த மா சே-தங் பார்த்தாரு, எல்லா ஹை கிளாஸ் பீப்புளெலாம் தே ஜாயின்ட் இன் Kuomintang பார்ட்டின்றதுனால he concentrated on peasants, low caste people, farmers. Understand? He gathered all the farmers and the peasants to spread this communism. Okay, can you able to follow then? And this Kuomintang Party was represented by the landlords and the capitalists. Okay, and in 1928, this Chiang Kai-shek successfully he captured the capital of China, and he started the central government in China. Then next, Mao as organizer of, I told you that in Kuomintang Party, this all the landlords, capitalists, they joined in this Kuomintang Party. So for that Ma Se-tung, he called all the peasants to follow communism, and he spread more than hundreds of communists led by Ma Se-tung. அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, மேலே போயிட்டு பெரிய வைல்டு மவுண்டன்ஸ்லாம் இருக்குல்ல, அங்கே போயிட்டு they got training for 7 years. Understand? அந்த மவுண்டனில் போயிட்டு வைல்டு மவுண்டனில் they got 7 years ஸ்டே பண்ணி ட்ரைனிங் எடுத்துக்கிட்டாங்க. Okay, so after this Kuomintang was they were not unable to concentrate this party's affairs, and Chiang Kai-shek deal with constant threat to Japan. So Japan, it agitated, it wanted to capture this Kuomintang, that is China. Okay, next class will see about the Long March. It is very important. Okay children, thank you, bye.